It was always very interesting to go to an art museum and see all the different exhibits and paintings that are on display for people to see. This is always something that has been fun for me because of the significance that these works of art hold, and the way that they influence the society around them, and the way that they moved and influenced new artists to create their own works. Throughout my time as an artist, there have been many reasons for me to go to an art museum. When I was younger, I never knew the importance of looking at an artwork from past artists and how they influence the world around us. They tell stories, give meaning and messages for many people to see. As I started to get older, I learned the importance of going to see these works and why it is so important for artists especially. Recently, I took a trip to Europe because my brother had been studying abroad and I got a once in a lifetime opportunity to see some great works of art that are known all around the world. Ones that people would only see when they go to Paris or Florence. These works are ones like Mona Lisa or The Birth of Venus, but that is not the only thing that I got to see. I got to see paintings, sculpture, architecture, and many more things. The one thing that astonished me the most was the cathedral, the Duomo, in Florence. It was so interesting to see the first ever dome that was built for a church, but it was even more interesting to see the paintings on the inside of the dome itself. For this project, I decided to take myself back to Europe, exploring the cities, looking at some of the most famous artworks in the world, and doing some of my own art. The first artist that I will be discussing is Jacques-Louis David, who is very famous and well known for his art during the time of Napoleon. He was considered to be a preeminent painter during his time and marked a change in the taste of many artists away from the previous style, the Rococo. His work that made a significant impact for me was the Coronation of Napoleon. Being painted in 1807, this is a very early painting within the 19th century, but it was a very important painting during that time. The painting is very significant because it shows the moment that Napoleon crowned himself as emperor and did not allow the Pope to crown the new monarch, while also crowning his wife as empress. An article published by Britannica states the work depicts the moment during Napoleon's coronation as Emperor of France, when he crowns his wife, Josephine, as empress. This is a large break of tradition because the Pope would usually crown the new king of France within the Notre Dame Cathedral. This work has many meanings and can be a display of power that Napoleon had, almost seeming that he thought of himself above the church and above the Pope. The painting was used to show his claim of power to the public that was unable to see it. This marked a very important time within European history, marking the rise of the new French emperor and the transformation of the society of France after the Revolution. The painting shows that the time of the divine right of kings is over, and it has shifted to a new form of power based on military achievements. This work also can enrich our understanding of the world around us because of the symbolism that it holds. This painting specifically holds importance because it can show the viewers how leaders and rulers can use art as propaganda and send a message to the public to hold their power. The art can be used in different ways, either to uplift their people or keep them in fear. Napoleon being the main and central figure, there is a sense of a performance being shown to the world. This performance shows that there is a legitimacy of Napoleon's power. The image of him being self crowned shows the determination and gives a message that power does not come from God himself, but it is earned or must be taken. The elements within this painting also hold meanings themselves, some of the elements being line, color, and space. The lines within this painting are very controlled and planned. The vertical line of Napoleon, along with the vertical lines of the pillars behind him, show that there is order and there is also stability within his own authority. Along with the vertical lines, there are curved lines of the robes of many different figures which guide the eyes of the viewers from one point to the next. Color is another element that is important for this painting. The main colors of red, gold, and blues to show the grand and riches of the people. The different tones around Napoleon are meant to make him stand out against the crowd and show that he, again, is the main focus of the painting. The space of the work also does the same thing. Napoleon, being in the center of the work, along with the cluttered people around him, showed the scale of the coronation. One thing about this painting that really astonished me is the artist input himself into the painting as a way to show that he was there at the coronation. An article by Google Arts and Culture states, on the second level of the gallery, Jacques-Louis David has painted himself surrounded by his family, making a preliminary draft of his masterpiece. The next work that really stood out to me was the work of Theodore Gerault, titled Raft of the Medusa, originally called Scène de Naufrage, Shipwreck, was made in 1819, is a commentary on the failure of the French government. The painting shows the wreckage of a French Navy ship called Méduse, where the survivors of the shipwreck, about 150 men, were left stranded to die on a makeshift raft. After weeks of starvation and cannibalism, only 15 were left. Artable explains the story behind this story and says, by the time they were fully rescued, only 15 men had survived. The painting was a statement to the people about the outrage of the incident. This exposed the corruption of the French government and the carelessness of the officers who manned the ship. This painting is very culturally significant because of its portrayal of human suffering and the problems within social order. It also shows the failure of the French government to protect their own people and shows the difference in social order, where the officers who caused the crash did not have to fend for themselves on the raft. This painting specifically is a commentary on political failure and inequality within social classes, and the need for governmental reform within France. The elements within this painting also tell a story for the viewers as well. The lines within the work are more chaotic, and the lines of the bodies of the men are more twisted to show their desperate poses and creates a sense of agony. The color, which is very muted and earth-toned, shows the darkness of the scene. The pale skin tones stand out very well against the dark background of this work, which shows how vulnerable they are. The space within the work is also very crammed together and chaotic, which resembles the space there is for the people on the raft. In an opposite way, the background of the sea is very vast and open. And it is also depicted as very violent and choppy at sea, which shows the power of nature and also shows us that nature always has power over man.